Hey guys, so I'm just lost in thoughts. I've just been doing a couple of reactions, a couple of rantings, but this one has been something it's been paining me deep. It pain me enter my bone marrow. Now we say it, and it's about our elites, our elites, whatever the English is. And what's getting me to react to it right now is what's going on with Barrister Daily following. I got lost in thoughts. And then Barrister, even as the son in front of him, say, Mafe Babalola. Now, whatever their issue is, yeah, I'm lending my voice to, justice and the law being respected and, to daily being released. I'm lending my voice to that. But that's not the bane of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the elites in general. I feel Babalola is an elite. This is the thing I'm saying about truth. So let's not be like I'm just repeating truth. Before I really came in contact with the person after Babalola, not in person, but more of what he really did. Because we have these people so many times and we don't really know what they did or what they've done to get this kind of recognition or respect they earn. I was reading a book. I'm sorry to the author, because when I read this thing I gain knowledge. And it's only normal, it's only appropriate that I give credit where due to the author who was able to go dig deep, research, meet these people and talk about it. And along the line, any video I'm doing, if I remember, I will bring it up. I'll bring it up. That was when I was like, oh, so this is why people have been all about Babalola, because I've heard about him, I've seen his uni. When I first going to Lagos, I saw his uni, I was like, who is this guy? Oh, he's a lawyer, he's a this. I said, and my thought was, the Nigerian thought, how did the lawyer get to be? Not alluding to anything, it was just the thought that came to my head. Because we've been hearing the name, but we don't really know what or who Babalola is or what it stands for. Ile Faratum, I keep mixing up his name, so I'll just stick to the name. It does not seem like a disrespect. So I was reading the book, and he was talking about MKO Abiola when he was about to be given the title. What was the title again? Man, guys, I'm sorry. I guess maybe during the edit of this video, they will bring it up. The team will bring it up. I think it was my Yoruba is not good, so my brothers forgive me. Are Okakamfo title, something like that. I think, and in the sense of prestige, is after they are laughing, or the Oba, that's not necessarily next in line, but when it comes to title and respect in the Yoruba kingdom. And he talks about them wanting to stop what's the English? It's not coronation. It's crowning. Let me use the word crowning. Permit that. And it was after Babalola that stood, and all the dignitaries, even Mandela, I think Mandela came. All the dignitaries are coming, and people that were fighting him. I was even fighting him again. The story is dicey. I don't remember the details. As I said, most times these things are rants. It's not like I go to sit down and I bring out one book and I say, oh yes, let me go and rant about it. So yes, in due time, maybe in the segment I keep talking about why we learn, do that. But these things are inbuilt things that have been there all this year, or even knowledge I'm just bringing up. And somebody was trying to stop the title being bestowed upon him, and they brought a court order and all that. Mandela, that's when I was like, wow, Mandela was ruling with MKO far back then and all that. And the lawyer that came in, and they said when he came in, everywhere erupted. The lawyer was after Babalola, and he came in and his sagacity and learned qualities. You people know the English you use when it comes to healing yourself. The sagacity, the megacity, the tatacity, and he delivered, and the judge was so impressed, and everybody and everywhere erupted in pa 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 pa. And MKO Abiola, the court order, court injunction that was put against him being crowned, whatever it was to be crowned at that time, I think Ariel or Kakanfo, was cancelled or was dropped. And he was able to go on with the coronation and all that and all that and all that. Forgive my use of terms, please. Forgive my use of terms. So what I'm trying to say, that was when I was like, oh, so this Afe Babalola guy, he has been a big shot all this while. But the truth is, when you look at our elites, were they really big shots? Because it was from a place of privilege. He went to school then, and English was not so much a common thing. So coming in to come and speak all this sagacity and tenacity and manacity and megacity seemed like a very huge deal. So coming in and speaking all those things, it looks like, and that's the many distortion we face. When you look at our elites that are rich, that we all hail, and be like, these guys are industrialists, it's a this, it's a that. When you really trace it, it's from a place of from a place of just being there at that time, and you were able to grab your own pile of meat, or pile of cake, or pile of whatever. My issue with the elite is okay being an elite. I don't have a problem with that. Elites are very important to a society. You can't take it away. Maybe to rapture comes and the true intent of what God wanted to do on the earth is carried out. We can't take these classisms away. We can't take this class of societies away. The elites, the middle class, the poor. It's there. It's there. It's there. Can't take it away. I'm not coming here to be a crusader for those things. My philosophy is the logic of reality, or logical realities. As I like to say, it's logical realities. But my issue with my elites, okay, not my elites, our elites. It's not like they're my guys. I don't know them. Is that can't you think bigger? When you're doing your company, when you're doing your business, you focus into 4 years, into 10 years. You forecast the doom, the do's, the possible outcomes. When it comes to the affair of Nigeria, I don't know, you guys seem to be dull, or you seem to be selfish, or you seem to be greedy, or you seem to not be able to reason. And for that reason, I do not know why you choose that pattern of living. I sincerely do not know why. Let me give and I'm calling these names in respect. I'm not alluding anything. I'm not alleged. Okay, am I alleged? Because now I'm just trying to be technical with terms, so nobody comes up and say foundation. The one that just recently happened. Let me start with that. Tony Elumelu, soft boy, moving in his PJ, the way he dresses, it's pretty impressive. Seeing someone at that age dressed like that, it's nice. It makes you relate to him. Ibert Wigwe, God rest his soul. It came to mind because I'm talking about going into the banking guys now. Jimovia have been more of a meat in the sense that he does not bring himself out there the way like Adenuga does. But Tony Olumelu and Jimovia they were recently in France with our president Tinubu, and they were celebrating the launching of a branch there, or whatever they are celebrating there. I didn't get details. Maybe in the financial world, people in the financial sector will get more details on that. They were celebrating that, and in the whole atmosphere of happiness, I saw a lady playing guitar and all that. My mind was like, you guys have not solved the problem here. What's the excitement in going to establish in France? Looking at the history with France, I know you're doing your business. Looking at the history with France and how they deal with, we in Africa and we in this West Africa coast most especially. And France has always been a foe, not necessarily a friend to Nigeria when it comes to diplomatic relations. Zenith, sometimes your network goes off for days, and it's always the excuse of upgrade. UBA, so many complaints. I think I used to have a UBA bank, then I left the UBA account, then I left it, I got tired. Now, the banking sector are always coming out every year. Oh, we made 200 billion in profits. And everybody's back. What's the essence of making that profit when the profit is not necessarily reflected in your society? It tells you in a society as Nigeria at this point, do not think we are rich because you see a couple of people flying pigeon and rolling in Rolls Royce. Majority of us are poor. The last Bureau I've heard from the National Bureau of Statistics says not more than 1 million or so have less than 500,000. Majority of Nigerians rather have less than 500,000 in their accounts. So imagine a country where we have a good 80%. They have more than 1 million in their accounts. Not 1 million that goes in and goes out. 1 million that stays in their accounts. Don't you think your profit will go into trillions? So if you've not finished solving the problem in the country, why are you so excited about celebrating what you're opening in France or what you're doing in France? Which brings the point to why I said, is it selfishness? Is it greed? Is it being dull? Is it poor thinking? Because if we can't see the big picture, that we have a nation, and Nigeria are spenders. Nigeria, we don't keep money, we are spenders. So it means we have that tendency for disposable income, like the US. That's why the US is a big market. If you strike in the US, you feed gold. We are big spenders. So imagine the possibility of everybody being given the opportunity to be able to really bring out that genetics of spending in them. We have that genetics of being able to have disposable income. And it trickles down of being able to travel to Lagos to watch there's a club raining in Lagos now. Is it Lagos Boys or so? Or going to Ibadan to watch all those guys, or going to the east to watch Rangers, to watch Eyimba, going to Kano to watch Kano Pillars. Disposable income. So now you're wondering, the elites now might see this and say, oh, how is it our fault? As a bank, what have you been able to do to make sure that if I want to start a business, I can easily access loan? Oh, if you say, oh, it's the CBN, oh, it's the data, don't you guys lobby for things? The France you went to, didn't you lobby for it? You lobby to get what you want. Why don't you lobby here? Why does it feel like when the politicians want to go for election, politicians come to you and you finance it? You know, it's finance. This is not just for the bankers, but in Nigeria say, oh, going for election, I come to this big man, help me, and it's finance. In doing those deals, why don't you tell the politician, you that you're going for House of Rep, you're going for Senate, these are the bills we want to see pushed in the Senate. These are the bills we want to see in this 10th Assembly, 11th Assembly. A bill that makes us be able to reduce rates, be able to influence a single database. That's the combination, because we have data. All these, we don't have data here. There's data. Immigration has data. Custom has data. Road safety has data. Banks have data. CBN have data. What's this new one this guy brought? Pantami. NIMSI has data. He was not the one who brought it, but you know what he tried to do with it. NIMSI has data. All these data are there just being replicas, and everybody paying their own server base, database and all that. And the senators you're sponsoring, the House of Rep niggas you're sponsoring, the governors you're sponsoring, what are you lobbying for? Are you just simply lobbying for, bring all the state accounts to my bank? Shows how dull you are. Bring all the contracts to my bank. It shows how dull you are. Because if there's disposable income due to facilities being made available, circulation of money, increase in spending will reflect in your records, will reflect in your profits. Same thing goes to Dangote. Dangote has been a big boy in the Nigeria scene for so long. kudos to him, credit to him. Yes, he's been accused of monopoly and all those. It's fine. What are others doing? I don't try to, it's monopolizing every sector. I don't know other business persons who can go in and monopolize. I try to be logical, but if you have the opportunity, what will you do? Will you make the ground easier for other people? Do I support the monopoly? No, because competition brings about fairer prices. Competition brings about innovation. Now to Dangote. Dangote, great work on the things we've been doing with the cement, with the sugar, and with the many things. Great work on the refinery. But when you were thinking of I'm speaking now like Dangote is here. When you were thinking of building a $20-25 billion refinery, were you looking at the society around you? I know that saying that China build infrastructure, it will come. But you could see when China was building the infrastructures, they were also making efforts in Human Development Index, in investing in people. Now, Dangote is not the government, why will he invest in people? That brings us to the whole foolishness I'm talking about, or to the whole dullness of the elites. Dangote going to build a $25 billion industry. Didn't he know the possibility of someone in the farthest of farthest place in Bauchi, who borders Cameroon, Adamawa, who borders Cameroon down the south side, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, who borders Bini, that was shown on those states where they say they do the rice smuggling and all that, and Niger, Sokoto borders, that they can buy fuel comfortably, they can afford to buy cars. The American system does not really have a train network, and they say they don't have a train network because it's designed that way to make the people use trains. I find it funny and foolish, yes, but is it effective? Yes. So why you building a 25 billion industry in a country where the bureaucracy of upliftment, which I believe many of you have benefited from the elite, is not so favorable to you too if you look at it on the long run? Because the opportunity of having 50,000 people consuming petrol, diesel, and every other thing, the opportunity of me waking up in the morning and not being bothered about booking a flight, and I just go after I finish my day's activity around 9 a.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Let me go to the airport, let me go see my mom in the village. The opportunity, what I'm pointing at is the fact that airpiece, or this is free publicity now, airpiece, you owe me. Aero contractors, United Airlines and all that, can fly multiple flights like 100 times a day. Does that not tell you, Dangote, the bankers or whoever, the elite, that the more we have disposable income, the more we have a better society, the more fuel Dangote needs to refine? And talking about Dangote now is funny because we're talking about the company now, but you can come and get a defamation suit. You're talking about Dangote. I beg, I'm talking of Dangote as a company now. The more, in essence, a person too, because he runs the company, he is the company per se. So, if Dangote is needing to refine 2,000 barrels for our flight activities in a whole year, imagine the disposable income, the higher earning power of Nigeria increases. It means Dangote needs to start doing that 2,000 barrels in a day or in a month. Why can't the elites think? Thinking is the easiest thing. Like, I want to eat. Thinking is the easiest thing. John Lennox, I think, was it John Lennox? I don't remember him. But somebody was next to him and the person said, you can only imagine. No, the person was like, I can only imagine. And he was like, wow, it's not that hard, just imagine. You get? It's that simple. Building a $25 billion industry in a country where over 80 million people can wake up and spend 1 million naira within a month, when many of the graduates are still struggling with 50k salary, 60k salary, pata 80k salary before you start getting to those good work and you're saying 150. You So you get to those maybe elite companies, you start saying 300 and all that. Does that not tell you there's a problem? There's a big problem. How you people don't see it as an elite, I do not know. Is it for Chiamanda said it's privilege blinds, and it's true. Probably because you're in this bubble. To go to this place, the chopper is there, the jet is there. Pastor Yedepo, in speaking, said, I'm sure you'll be glad to know, trying to imitate him now, federal government has approved an airstrip in Kenaland, and anyone want to go, I don't need to go to the airport, I go from here straight to there. Was I meant to clap? Now I'm being logical here. Was I meant to clap to that? You know, it was exciting that yes, I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing something being built. I'm seeing an infrastructure that matters, because airports should not be something special. Airstrips, access to PJs and all those things should not be something so special. You know, but when you look at the people around, so if I want to go, me now, do I have that same access to be like, oh, Kenal and Alpha, I want to use your airstrip. I have a farm next to you, I'd rather just use your airstrip. The majority of people don't have that. So this is not an attack on Papa Yedepo. I respect all he has achieved. Don't twist my word, guys. I will consider him part of the elites. I consider church leaders still part of the elites, because they have access to these people. So imagine Dangote before he taught how to build that refinery, because they said he literally had to build a whole industry. We didn't have them, and that's why he has been motivated to go into steel. Why did it take you so long to know we needed steel? Because you built a refinery. Are you seeing what I'm saying now? This is what I'm trying to explain. We've needed steel since the 90s, and you've been Dangote since forever. Close ties to the government, close ties to finances, credible name, credible brand name, that if you approach any bank, they are willing to fund it, provided your name is there. You didn't think of steel all these years. It's because you've built a refinery now, and you saw how it affected you personally. Then you realize, we really do need steel in this nation, a functioning steel. And this, now we say, is it not the politicians that have to do this? Who put the politicians? It's we and the elites. The elites decide who they finance, who they back. In financing and backing these guys, why don't you bring out favorable deals? You could be like, oh, make it easy that we, the elites, they have money. We can easily go own steel factories. Is it that hard? In owning the steel factory, you're still rich, you're still an elite. But it means the ordinary man that just wants to start something in his backyard has access to steel at a very easy rate. Industrialization is not hard. Industrialization is not I buy 300 hectares of land and build a very massive industrial plant. On YouTube, we see the way these Indians make all these styrofoam slippers. Are they styrofoams here? All the styrofoam slippers that Kanye does with Adidas. And it's just in their backyard, a literal, not stereotyping, literally just in their backyard. I wanted to use, the common word everybody just used to stereotype India. Just in their backyard, and you're seeing, it's a poor environment, because you're not seeing the safety tools, but you're seeing effectiveness. You're seeing effectiveness. Growing up back then, when there used to be, I could say there used to be steady light at least. We had a room in our house, and we called it factory room. You know why we called it factory room? Because we had so many fridges in the room, or freezers. Because we were doing all this ice block, ice cream, Zobo, and all that. I still remember the good days, good memories. And from that young age already, we were already knowing how to use the sealing machine, knowing how to place it in cartons, in packs. At that young age, we were already being taught industrialization. Then things started falling apart. Economy being bad, falling on hard times, light becoming an issue, gen not catching up, fuel becoming expensive, and now thinking about it, we now slowly left that thought process of industrialization. Because when you look at it now, if we had stayed that line, It should have channeled our subconscious to invention. It should have channeled our subconscious to want to industrialize even in a very little way. Now this is me, memories are coming back and I'm deviating into something else. But it still boils down. It's not something else per se, it still boils down. Because if Dangote had realized we needed steel long ago, his refinery wouldn't have cost 25 billion. Because many of the costs are probably because things were being brought from abroad. The testimony that he had to bring a Chinese company for dredging, for compacting of the soil, and he said, hey, Mr. Man, when I was talking at the Afrin Bank, is it Afrin Bank? And he was telling the Chinese he didn't have all those times, It was nice that you're seeing a black man, being able to command such respect. They were once like the Chinese, or the Chinese was once like us. And now we're going to them for ideas, for technology. This is the problem with the elites. They do not think, and I think it's the problem with us in general. We do not think in the bigger scope. Today, we the young ones, I'm a young adult, I do not consider myself a youth. So we the youth, the young adults, making good enough money legally and all. Instead of us to come and think of a good way of setting up little things. The guy is owning our hospitality businesses now in Lagos, in Abuja, and so many other places. It's the Lebanese. They've made it a trade. Hospitality, health, and construction. And me that have made money, and maybe I'm worth over 200 million. I could easily set up an hospitality chain starting from one spot. I'd rather be happy that I go to that Lebanese and I'm snapping with him and the guy is my friend. There's nothing wrong with that. But it tells you the kind of thinking we've learned because we've deviated from a path of industrialization, from a path of being effective, from a path of thinking, from a path of imagining. That's all. Is that sad? Is that sad? And to our politicians, look at it this way. When there was a time Buhari released the budget and it was 20.something billion dollars, I can't remember the year. And watching the news, I saw Samsung's budget. Samsung like that. Let me explain it to you so people know the Samsung I'm talking of. Remember when Chelsea used to wear Samsung mobiles and they started wearing Samsung? Samsung, the phone you pick, hello. Samsung, the guys with the very expensive screen, that was your screen break, voila. Their budget was in excess of 18 billion for research. And I was like, wow. Are we making progress? How can a company budget be that bigger than a nation for research purposes? It was saddening. So the point I want to draw to the politicians, let me round up. The point I want to draw to the politicians is, why celebrate a $20 billion budget or a $20 billion economy when you can celebrate a $1 trillion economy? And I'm giving you free tea. You can steal more from a $1 trillion economy than a $20 billion economy. If you're stealing, let's say, $1 billion from a $20 billion budget, in a $1 trillion budget, you're stealing 100 billion rather. So I'm giving you guys free tip on how to steal more. It's fine, go steal. When we're ready as a nation, you answer to us. But please don't steal, use it for the right thing. But the point remains, the more you increase, except this thing is design, no error, the more you increase the possibility for we to live a better life, the better it is for everyone. The better it is for everyone around us. So our elite, is there an hospital today? When Buhari saw another accident, Yusuf, I'm glad he's doing better. After they said he was stabilized in Cedar Crest before he was taken out. And after that lesson, there's still been no solid hospital that could handle such situation. Pastor Paul Eneche was sharing a story of, I can't remember the country the person is, but he said the person met him and said he came to learn medicine in UI, University of Ibadan. That what happened to Nigeria. So you get, we're falling off. And we've had elite all this while. And that's the difference between the Zigs, the Awolowo, the Samadu Bello, those niggas. That's their difference. They were selfish. I'm not praising them. When you really see that and you see many of our heroes were not really heroes. They were selfish. It was more about self-interest. But one thing they did, you could see in their selfishness was a collective effort to lift their people. Awolowo with the education, Zeke with the struggle with Kwame Nkrumah and the independence thing, Michael Okpara with the education too, Samadu Bello that we just talked about with that northern thing first. In that selfishness, you could see a group thinking. But today, our elite is strictly a selfish bunch of people that do not think beyond their self-surrounding. So my point in all this is, elite think. You can't think. Employ who can think for you. Let me give, I'm trying to bring profitable solutions and not just Mazarin talks and talking plenty. Somebody one time, all this, that's why I say all these things are not just knowledge I went to find out and start talking. These are knowledge that's been in me that I've learned. One guy on Twitter, he didn't name the state. He said a state governor was approached to build a cancer research center, and they will take care of the funding and all. The state just had to bring about the land and all the space. And he said because there was no clear cut, clear malato for the governor didn't necessarily approve. I'm like, is that not foolishness? Approve the land, approve the construction. Now I'm giving you politicians free tea. Then the lands around you, why don't you turn it to an hub? Because if there's an hospital there, it means there will be need for a pharmacy, there will be need for accommodation, there will be need for a market, there will be need for restaurants, there will be need for a distraction center, for a park. Those are the things you could benefit from. Not just cutting deals and getting what they call that in backpacks or back checks. So in essence, our elite, this is a voice to you, this is a note to you. Think bigger. You guys have the best brains around you. Each time I see people on your profile, PhD here, PhD there, PhD there. There are even those people around you. Is it that you do not listen to them? Think bigger. Think bigger. For how many years we've not had a train that could wake up in Lagos and go to the north, go to Kano, and still come back that day? I'm tired. These things are simple, these things are achievable, but we need an elite that is strong. And elite, not strong, our elites are strong. Our elites are guys with money. Our elites are guys that are very, very smart. Our elites are guys that are very industrious. But I think their biggest problem, they've not been thinking in the bigger way. Zenith Bank, UBA, wherever you're opening over there, come home and say how you can bring finances to people. Come home and say how you can bring low interest rate to people for mortgages, for houses. Come home and say how you can centralize our data. You guys can influence these things now. We know the bureaucracy that goes on behind picking ministers and all those things. After the election, Tinubu went to visit Tony Elumelu. And in the old fanfare, Tony said, last man standing, and they laughed and they shaked. And while they were sitting, Tony Elumelu, the video is there, daughters came and, some of Tony Elumelu, nice one, thumbs up. You've been one that's always promoted women. When you look at your staff section, segment or whatever, people have talked about the law, just like the Jonathan regime, really promoted women, power and all those things. And Tony was like, oh, this is a very young girl, very nice. One of these days, we'll release her for you for minister. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. The people who know these things, so why are you not doing it? Where's that girl now? Did you ever lobby for her to become a minister? If you didn't, then do it. Even if not ministry, look for a parastatal. And we know necessarily Tony Elumelu reputation is on the brink. It's on the line. And she needs to deliver. Do you get? This is what we're saying. You can't influence these people into power. Then they get to power. You're not making any deal that favors you and favors the people at large. Or favor the people and favor you at large. Because when you take out Lagos, take out Port Harcourt, take out Abuja, take out Kano, who else can bring in those billions? Is it the state ravaged by Boko Haram? Is it the eastern region ravaged by IPOBs or non-government? We'll get all those stories. Is it the south that is now okay, maybe calm, but still ravaged by the militancy and all that pipeline vandalization and all? Is it the west now that is springing up with the whole Oduduwa outcry? Do you get the fact that Bauchi State cannot do 100 billion a month like Lagos does, 100 billion a year? It shows you're still poor as an elite. Don't you want a branch in Bauchi State? A solid branch, bringing in millions, bringing in billions, bringing in the box. Come on, think. It's not that hard. And Tony, if this video gets to you, that lady you wanted to release to Tinubu, can you release her? Yes, the ministerial ports are filled up. Removing anyone now will be a political headache for Tinubu. Free those spots. Let's look for a DG position. Let's look for a local government position. Can't we fix it? Why is the local government not bringing in chunks of money? Not these ones where having boys stand on the street and harassing cars because you're trying to raise funds. I'm moving in my car, and because I went to buy something in the market for personal use, oh, why should I pay when I have a car? I put it in the boot. The boot is filled up. I put on the seat. I put on the passenger seat. And I have boys harassing me that it's wrong, it's not allowed, it's not proper. This is my car. This is why I bought it. To be able to convey me, for my own comfort. But now that is being seen as a means to generate tax, a means to generate funds. But that is the I thought you said minutest, is that correct? But you get what I'm saying? That's the most minutest way to raise funds. Imagine the local government is raising 30 billion, 100 billion from profitable resources like new cities, new markets, new invention centers, new IT centers, churning up this, churning up that. You won't see boys on the street, son eating them. They are all looking so harassing people, just carrying things in their own car for personal use and not necessarily business. So Tony, release that girl. Let's use her as a yardstick. I'll go look for that video and play it. Release that girl. Send her to a parastatal. Send her to a local government with your supervision clearly. Because when they know Tony is there, when they know Tony is behind her, nobody will fuck up. Yes, I use the word. No one will fuck up. Because Tony knows the president. We know the president is powerful. Man, I've ranted so much. This is so long. But if you got to the end of this video, thank you. I love you. This is how I feel, and I know you all still feel this way. I missed out on points in talking, but I know the one I've said, I pray it reaches you. I pray you understand it. I pray it opens the spark. It opens an hunger in you. And together we can sit and forge a better path. Elite will always be there. The middle class will always be there. The poor will always be there. But the common factor should be that we all live comfortably. We all have access to drinking water. There's security, there's light. We have disposable incomes for the things we want. Those are the common factors. The elites can continue being billionaires. Elon Musk being worth over 200 billion does not stop the common man, the common truck driver in America from owning a house, from owning iPhones, from sending his kids to school. It doesn't stop it. So come on, guys. Come on, elite. Come on, Dangote. Come on, Tony. Come on, Mike. Mike Adenuga, please come out. Please. Come out. Come out. Leave a legacy for us. You've tried with Glow. I think you also own the Equatorial Trust Bank. I don't know what they've merged to. Please come out. Leave a legacy. Influence things that could be beneficial for us all. Please. Cause Charis. Innocent. Come out. I could go on and on listing names. Otedola, come out. Push these policies. Push these reforms. Dan Tata, Rabiu. Come out. ABC. Just stop doing business and thinking about your soul. Look at the business in the way that if more people could afford light. Now you people are pushing for increase in light. This is now to Otedola. Pushing for increase in light bill. How many of us can really afford it? A situation where now one consumes 50,000 in a normal environment per month, more than 50,000. How many of 50,000 is sometimes our salary? It's my salary. Do you get? A situation where you come out and you bring policies and make 50,000 disposable. You make money when we pay our lights. You make more money when you increase it to 100,000 and our earning, our income has increased. We're not so sad. We're like, okay. If we do this, we do this, we do that. 100,000 is nothing. You make more money, we live better, you live better. You win, I win. That's what I'm asking for. Come on. It's not that hard. Except you're telling me it's designed to keep us this way. If it's designed, then I know, okay, then we really need a revolution of the mind to break free from the design. But if it's error, let's fix it. Let's fix it. If you've gotten this far, thank you. I love you. Remain blessed.